Yeah, every damn time. Hello. Oh, I need to move this way a bit. Amazing, amazing. Listen, I'm writing myself into an early grave. I'm shattered, which is what you want to hear at the start of a stream, but better than nothing. Um, Intentionally provocative title, but I will explain a little bit. If you do call in, it'll be one at a time as well. I'll put the link in the chat in a minute. Um, let's try and keep it on topic, shall we? I'll do the housekeeping at the start. Oh, listen, I've got a massive thank you, an absolutely huge thank you. So I do loads of guerrilla marketing for my novel. Listen, this novel was released last November. I know you've been getting it a lot in the mouth, but or in the ears and eyes. But it'll end soon because I've got a new one coming out. So it'll start all over again. But in the last stream, I said, anyone sitting on the fence, make that decision tonight because you could really help me. Because I've done all this guerrilla marketing, and a lot of people who go on Amazon, they don't look at the customer reviews, they don't look at the endorsements from Jerry Stahl, Will Self, Peter Lloyd. They look at the bestseller ranking, which is fine, but the book's 9 months old. I haven't got Penguin Random House spending hundreds of thousands on advertising. My UK spend on promoting Love in the Time of Nudie Mags has been £0. Right? Yeah, Picard, there he is. Look, it's all his huge his Wi-Fi failed then, and it worked perfectly for me. And after I asked that, and I told you all about Amazon screwing me as well, and you couldn't even find the book unless you wrote exactly that title. Next morning, bestseller rank 24,000. That doesn't sound like a lot, but there's about 4,000 or 5,000 fiction books uploaded every day onto Amazon. You took it from about 2,500 down to 24,000, and on the back of the guerrilla marketing, it couldn't have been better time. So bless you all. If you still haven't bought it though, do it. Make an old junkie's dream come true. It's great. Go and check out the reviews, check out the endorsements. Second thing, put out my first paid Substack. There's links to my novel and to the Substack in the description. The free Substack's brilliant. There's 46 stories there. You'll still get a free one every month. But I done my first audio. The paid tier is £4 a month. £4. The paid tier, I done my first audio of the story. So you get the story and the audio. First take, 56 minutes. Not reading it because that would be rubbish. Here's the writing, here's the reading. I just told the story, and you can download it as well. It's an MP3. You can play it in your car, or you can put it on your headphones on the way to work or whatever. And I've had some absolutely banging responses to it. People emailed me and said it reminded them of the old Sunday prescription days. Because, I know the story, obviously, because it's a true story. But, it was great. It was great. It makes me happy. This is always what I've wanted to do. I took the leap. I don't know if you know, but I left my business, took the leap. It's building. I wouldn't say it's been a success yet. But it's building, and I've got this is a 5-year project. The novel coming out in November is going to be about £25, so that won't sell any. I've got a new working title that I absolutely adore, and I'll hate that in about a week. Anyway, that's all that. Buy my novel would be lovely. I'd prefer it to a donation. And check out my Substack. You can read a bit of the new paid one. There's a sampler, but to be honest with you, it doesn't really get into the guts of the story, and it's a cracking story. I wouldn't put my first paid out as a dodgy story. Anyway, super chat, I think one's already come in, which is absolutely wonderful. And that little QR code above Packer Z there, bring, there's a link at the bottom of the YouTube chat, and there's also a link in the description. If you want to use that, you can just stick your camera over it. this is what I do for a living now. I write and I do YouTube. So when you see after an hour's talking that I've taken 15 quid, you'll know why one of my subscribers on Substack, Nix, described me as looking pasty. And the iconoclast said to me, "Are you dying?" I mean, to be honest with you, I think I'm 54 or 55 this year. Anything after 50 is a bonus, really. That's how I see it, because what I put my stupid body through over the years, every day is a bonus. Look at OGs turning up. I've got the YouTube on that monitor because when I don't have the green screen, and anyway, that's it. Look how many, 7 minutes. Lovely. Show Packer some love in the chat. How are you, Picard?
I'm all good.
Yeah.
Sweet. Same as ever.
I'll tell you what. Same as ever. Someone suggested to me that you were potentially a special ops, like, I won't say it was, but he said he's got that kind of character, and I saw it. I said, yeah, I could see that.
Yeah, somebody last week also said that I was AI.
Well, I think special ops is a bit better, isn't it? But that you've done your time. Where is it? Where's the SAS, the classic, where they're all? Where's their little base in the UK? Oh, it's well known. Something in the chat will know. You've done your time in the special ops, and then just become a handyman, tradesman. Is handyman an insult in your game?
No, not to me.
Packer, you keep freezing, mate.
Do I?
Maybe if I... Yeah. I don't know. It's not me.
Pharmacist, I'm 88th Brigade.
88th Brigade. Well, there's people making suggestions. Of course, 42 knows it. Of course, 42 knows. He knows the longitude and latitude off by heart. 02184 minutes and 24 seconds, sir. Good to see you, 42. Right, we've got 3 stars coming. JT, one of the only scrubs who does the chat donations. Amazing, like, just blows my mind. Thank you, JT. Bless you. Hi, Chris. I love these. Hi, Chris. We'll watch later, but seeing the thumbnail, I couldn't agree more. That's interesting, because I'm going to put forth a proposition and see where we go from there. I can't wait to hear everyone's thoughts. Exactly. Exactly. Thank you, JT. Sorry I timed it not so good for your particular situation. My main man, Gary Stevenson, dropped a 10-bit. Thank you, Gareth. Very kind. Instead of telling people how they're going to be skinned because entrepreneurs keep nation states functioning, just dish out a few quid. You got millions, you keep telling us. And my man Alan has been on the firm for 8 months. We all know that Alan's been on the firm for about 8 years. I don't know if he's here. I haven't seen his name, but if you're watching this, Alan, I hope you're well, mate, out there in the Appalachia. So sort of I've got these romantic ideas of the Appalachia. But thank you for the Lady Godiva, thank you for the Ayrton Senna, and thank you, Alan, for your ongoing. And thank Alexander's been on the firm for 24 months now. Again, Alex has been around here a long time, and he dishes out memberships for other people. Alan has come back with a lady and said, hello, mate, he is in here. Absolute hoit to him. Speaking of which, I hope you're well, Alan, of course, by the way. I would like to get out there one day. If ever I get out to Appalachia, it looks beautiful, what I see it, and a lot of the sort of traditional cultures out there. It'd be lovely to come and see you, man. Say hello. That would be an interesting night, wouldn't it? People have been telling me that Bo has been name dropping me on his breakfast show a couple of times. He did say he'd invite me back. He hasn't yet, as yet. I'm not going to push it. But then someone else said to me, he's been ending some of his shows, giving it the hoit. That's a compliment. That's a privilege, isn't it? Thank you, Alan. Thank you very much. That's a privilege. Now, when I thought about that, I remembered something, and I couldn't find the exact one, but I found one that makes the same point. Check this out. We will get into the the calling very shortly. But I just wanted to show you this. OG Scrubs will know exactly what my hang on. All right. I know it's a little bit of a short screen because it's on a smaller monitor, but this is Devon Tracy, who I am currently not incommunicado with. I love the fella, but we do fall out from time to time, although this has been the longest fallout. I went in with a bit of tough love, but he has had a lot of very bad things happen to him. So, you know, if on the off chance you're watching, Devon, you're always welcome. The olive branch is forever a dangling in your direction. But OG Scrubs, check out this. There's another one where it comes up on the screen in big letters and Devon says it. And I haven't got a problem with this at all. It's actually a privilege. But see if you notice it. Here we go.
Stereotypes are real. We have a Jewish guy here hell-bent on undermining and disrespecting white people as a race. And once again, our race, we are us.
We are us. Join the flying monkeys.
Did anybody spot it? Did anybody spot it? Packer, did you not spot it?
No.
Good Lord.
What was I looking
That's
for?
blown my mind. That's absolutely blown my mind. Let me see what the chat's got to say about that. Hello, JP. Hello, Special K. Fuse is on the firm. We know that anyway. Hello, Philip. Yeah, you said it before. Get on with it. Philip, I don't know your area, but I would say get on the bus. You know, what other choice is there? Sophist, straight away, bang, exactly. And I remember, and again, this Devon's, he calls his followers flying monkeys, and I thought that was really nice when I first started watching his channel. And when if you don't know, when I accidentally said scrubs once instead of subs, I said I love all my scrubs, and it stuck. That's why people who watch his channel are called scrubs. But I went with it because I thought Devon's flying monkeys angle, you know, it gives community. But he's made a different video where it is just about we're us. And when Devon was on here, he was talking about the community that I've built here, that we've built here, and all the different scrubisms. And someone in the chat said, "We are us," and he said, "Oh, that's good." I remember him noticing it. And he said, "Oh, we are us is excellent." I said, "Yeah, it's cracking." I said, "Well, I don't think it was me either. A scrub come up with it." And he's used it in at least 2 videos, and you know, he's welcome to it. You know, the condition of language is its iterability. Why Naughty? Hello, mate. Says, I remember the live stream. Yeah. I don't think it was me. Good to see you, mate. Good to see you, Rob. Long time, son. Spanish chickens on the firm. Oi, Packer, Chris. As a side note, have you? Yeah, okay. We'll do hello, Moody Edge. So Jason Arday, it's assumed that he's. I can't believe I've got to say this. I can't believe I've got to use this phrase. He's unalived himself. What a ridiculous form of censorship. You know, it means the same thing. The signified remains. You just change the signifier. It shows such ironically, a moronic sense of understanding how language works. But I put on X this morning, I put, you know, all those outlandish claims that Professor X came out with, and hang on, what was the word in? All those outlandish claims that he come out with. And the one thing that he probably has actually done is people are blaming white people for. But they never say white people, do they? It's whiteness. It's a tone, because white isn't a colour. It's a tone. It's a shade of, it's between black and white somewhere. And, well, it's white. It's right at the end. But that whiteness thing is a very clever move. The left, they're dumb as fuck, but they're very clever, almost by accident. That you can imagine all that Birmingham School of Cultural Studies sitting around your Edward Saids and all that crowd. I always get those two confused. Hang on. No, that's right. That book, Orientalism? I think that was Said. I might have it wrong. There's another one that I confuse often. But a book was written by one of those early Birmingham school crowds called Orientalism. And it was about how the West, the Oceanic, has othered, that's a classic cultural studies terminology, has othered the Orient. It sees them as these kind of exotic, sort of, exotic and other, which without a doubt the West did, without a doubt. But in the whole book of about 250 pages, where he says basically what I just said, but over and over and over and over again, talking about Susie Wong and co, they also did it to us. They also done the same to us. Of course they did. They didn't say, oh, look at those people, they're the same as us. No, they othered us. They identified us as having different cultures, different beliefs, different values, whatever. But no leftist has written a book called Oceanicism. It classic sort of double standards. But are they left kids and a wife? I don't want to say too much about it until
John
more
Hughes
information.
send you a super chat, Chris.
All right, fair play. I don't want to say too much about it until more information has come out, and I don't want to talk from emotion, because it can sometimes cause you problems. John says, visiting Bexley the other day. People who don't know, Bexley is like 2 miles from my old manor where I grew up. Visiting Bexley the other day, and went for a walk and was the only white man. This is a lovely segue into the stream then. Scary, really. Within 3 years, it's gone. I wouldn't visit Dartford as it is. Heartbreaking. Yeah. Thank you, John, for the donation as well. It's a very, very encouraging early grift. Lovely. Okay, I'll use this as the jumping off spot. Now, I haven't got parents. I mean, my dad died when I was young, and my mother died a few years ago. But I'll tell you what, as I saw a lot of my friends moving out of Dartford, Dartford has been, it's a weird place because it's on the M25. It used to house the Greater London Lunatic Asylum. It's Kent, though. It's actually estuary. It's an estuary town. But, you can use a travel card even though it's not in a zone. You can get a red bus road over there. So it's kind of like, it's got a personality problem. It hasn't anymore. It's just Mogadishu. But I had a lot of friends moving out and saying to me, mate, you wouldn't believe it. And, you think, yeah, there's a bit of hyperbole and, it's changed. There's a couple of Polish food shops. And then I had friends saying, listen, no, it's not a couple of Polish food shops. It's people getting stabbed like weekly. When I left I left home at 16 and out of Dartford. There was one knifing in Dartford that made the news, in my whole 16 years there. Now, there might have been another one that didn't get reported, but a murder that some geezer was knifed, an Indian fella. And apparently now most of them don't even make the news because it's just same old story. A visitor to the country stabbed one of his fellow visitors. Okay. And when I had to, and I started getting worried, right, this is the actual segue. Cheers, John. Alan wants to know what the end game is. Well, that's kind of where I'm going. Thank you, Alan. That's very kind of you as well. I started getting worried about my mother because she was like late 70s, you know, an incredible woman, put up with so much nonsense from me that she didn't deserve, and put up with it with like almost like a wartime sort of approach to tragedy. Like me and her sitting there, me smashed out my head, and watching antiques programs for 5 hours a day, just drinking coffee and eating Mother's Pride cheese sandwiches, and then her front door comes through because I've skipped bail again, and she'd be like, oh, do you want a cup of tea, like to the old bill? I'm like, Mum, it ain't like it used to be, don't make them tea. Fuck 'em. She didn't deserve all that, bless her, but I started getting worried because an old woman living on her own. And then I started thinking, and then she died, and that you know, it's weird when I'd already had my dad die years ago. So, but there was a part of me that thought, you know, she wasn't enjoying life really. She was getting knackered. She was a drinker. She was a functioning drinker though. You know, she got everything done. She was a care worker until she was 70. You know, she was doing care work for people that were younger than her. Like, really weird. And you know, everyone knew her, lovely woman, but I think she just had enough really. I think she'd had her innings. She was proud of her 2 boys and drifted off. But it does make me feel, in a way, that's something I haven't got to worry about. And I don't mean the burden's on me. I've got to worry because my mum. I don't want her to be worried. I didn't want to see her watching her town go down the Swanee, and not feeling safe, not being able to. Even the local co-op, which is like a glorified mini mart, and it didn't used to be. It used to, oh man. And she'd say, I'd say, I'd talk to her on WhatsApp or something, and she'd say, oh, I forgot to get some butter, so I don't know what I'm going to do for my dinner tonight. And I'd say, why don't you go in the co-op or something? She'd go, oh, it's not safe. It's not safe. The co-op on Colney Road, and she wasn't mad. She wasn't like she was, sharp as a razor, but she just didn't consider it safe when it got dark to bowl around the co-op as an old lady 2 roads away. And I thought to myself, and this might be the bit that pisses people off, maybe. I thought to myself, thank you, Alan, by the way. I thought to myself, if I had children, now I don't have children. It's not off the cards, but I haven't. If I had children who are 15, 16, 17, coming up to school leaving age, which is about 25 now in England, so ridiculous. I remember kids at my school leaving at 14, like in middle of a class. They'd be in there and the teacher go, okay, get your trigonometry books out. And this geezer just got up, went, oh, I'm done. See you later. Have a good life, people. And then never be seen again. No social services, no old bill, no parents getting a knock at the door. It was just like, oh, that's one less student to our 35 students to a class, 4 of us sharing a textbook. I remember a geezer called Ricky Brett, really, really clever bloke, but come from Temple Hill Estate, like the rough end of town. And, like madly intelligent. And never had the upbringing that you'd think, I think he was fatherless. And in the sixth form, first day of sixth form, and I pretty much convinced him to do sixth form. I was like, mate, you've got a lot going on in here. Me and you don't want to end up plastering or bricklaying. We don't have to. And not that there's anything wrong with those things, but my old man was a bricklayer. My old man was a painter and decorator, and he always said to me, don't think if you leave school and don't get a job, you'll be coming on site with me. And I was like, yeah, that is a no. And the first day of sixth form, me and Ricky Brett walk into the sixth form area, and some bollock-tongued PE teacher went, Ricky Brett, take that leather jacket off. That's not school uniform. What a coat. There was no coat. There's no regulation, standard issue coats at our school. He just didn't like it that he had a leather jacket on. And I shit you not, Ricky Brett walked in, got told off for wearing a leather jacket, didn't even sit down, turned around, he went, I'll see you around, Chris, and walked out. Now, I'm not saying he's not had a better life since then, maybe he has. But without a doubt, he could have ended up at Cambridge. But back then, it would have been worth it, But if I had a child, I think I would be. And I am playing devil's advocate a bit here, but I am also being honest. I think I'd tell him to get out. And I know, when I had Tim Davis on it, the ex-jet bomber pilot, good lad, good bloke. He's very much against that. He believes that you should stay and fight. I don't think that's ever going to happen. And if it did, it goes on for hundreds of years, because that's what happens with certain wars, certain types of wars, especially when you've been partially colonized, especially when your major cities have been partially colonized to the point where the natives are the minority. It's no accident they go to the cities. And yes, there's my heart is English. I get that. But my son or my daughter, especially if it was a daughter, go somewhere else. Go somewhere safer. Go somewhere where you can walk the streets. Go somewhere where you can enjoy life. Go somewhere where you don't get arrested at a rate higher than Stalin's Soviet Union for things you say and get locked up. And I just have to confess that. I know it don't go down well, and I know it's easy for me to say. And some people say to me, yeah, but you haven't got 3 kids, a job, a mortgage to pay. But if I did have 3 kids, a job and a mortgage to pay, I think that would inspire me more to get them out. Now, if you want to personally attack me, that's all right. I mean, I can take it. But what I really want to hear is, what is it over? Is there any coming back from this? Is Western Europe past the point of no return? I mean, is it going to be solved at the ballot box? I hear all the time. I hear people going, "No, I'll fight them on the streets. I'll do." It doesn't really work like that, though. It never turns out like that. History has shown us that. Look at Northern Ireland. And it's still going on. That hasn't stopped. Looks like it. We're told it has. But anyway. So lovely to see 124 people here. If you missed the beginning, do us a favour, buy my novel. Have a look at the reviews and endorsements on Amazon. Love In the Time of Nudie Max. Right, let's get on with this. I'll put the link to join in the chat. You're going to get about 5 to 10 minutes. When I eat you, it's not because you're boring or anything. It's because I want to get more people on. Oh, also, people, have you seen Barclay Walsh is in a spot of bother? There's a couple of videos of him going about. Apparently, he put a picture of himself with a toy gun. Now, it's weird. They say Barclay Walsh, his real name, Kai Stevens, like he's got the old Stephen Yaxley Lennon thing going on now. Once known as Barclay Walsh, you know, as if, oh no, he must be an evil person because he used a different name in public. Who'd want to do that in today's political arena? Like everyone. They said he held a toy gun at his girlfriend's head while she slept and took a photo of it. When you actually see the photo, it's not like a toy gun, like a replica. It's like it looks like some sort of space gun, like a ray gun. And, you know, this is Gen Z. This is what they do. That's their sense of humor. That's what Fuentes, I don't agree with much of what Fuentes says, but what I do agree with, I really agree with. And you know, they don't care about the Second World War and all that. It's so, you know, it's like us getting all emotional over the Vikings invading Scotland. Just like, you know. And then there's another video of him because he's standing to be elected. Where is it? Is it Clacton? Where is it? Where's he standing? I can't remember. Packy, your internet's really
I think
weird.
it might have been Clacton, yeah.
It might be. But there's this other video, and he's got my whistle on as well. The first suit I ever had made, I'd give it to him. Lovely, lovely whistle. And you can tell he's obviously going to apologise to an ex-girlfriend or something like that. It's weird because, like most of these videos that go around, you know, hit piece videos, you're given no context. It starts out of the blue and ends out of the blue. But it's a doorbell camera. So you see him, you know, he's there all looking smart. And you can tell, you can sort of see by his face that he wants to have a conversation about something. And the door opens, you just see Barclay's face like that. And what I'd imagine is the father comes out and just lamps him. And Barclay does absolutely the right thing and runs away. Yeah, I mean, he's not a fighter, is he? He's about 12 and, you know, he's not a big lad. Yeah, and if someone's just gonna, before you've even had a chance to talk to them, just start, you know, throwing hands. Is that what you say these days? Right. So he's getting some pressure on him. Of course, he's going to get pressure on him. And it said he's already moved from patriotic alternity to the Homeland Party to so and so. That's quite healthy, though, isn't it? You know, you find something. You know, those other two didn't have political party status or something like that. So he found a place where he could enact some sort of change. But yeah, I mean, I don't know if he saw this coming. I think he's clever enough. Let me know in the chat if any of you have seen any of these anti-Barclay Walsh stroke Kai Stevens hit pieces. They're pretty unpleasant, especially when he's not just a scrub, he's a mate. You know, I had him and Harry down in my house when I offloaded all my suits. That was a hard day, that was. It was funny though, because I offloaded all my shirts as well, handmade Sea Island cotton white shirts. I was gutted to let them go. Llama wool scarf, about 600 quid. So some bird bought it for me, which you can read on my Substack, link in the description. And there was one shirt left on the floor, like, you know, in a plastic bag. I went, no one wants that one. And Harry was like, nah, I'm all right. Remember Harry? Barclay and Harry, they were like mates. And Harry went, no, I'm all right, I've got enough here. And Barclay was like, no, I'm all right. And I went, well, why don't you just take it? And then I noticed the armpits were like yellow, you know, like years of deodorant and sweat. And I went, would it be those two? They were cracking up. The little teenage boys, too polite to say, look at the armpits. They were like, no, it's all right, mate, I've got enough shirts. Right, let's get someone in. How do I do it? I remember. Bosh. It's going to be one person at a time because otherwise it just gets a bit stupid. I'm just going to have a little look in the chat. It's lovely to see 122 people in there. If you're new here, subscribe, give it a go. I am blatantly shadow banned, but and if you don't like it, you can just unsubscribe later. Don't forget to like the video, people, and it will get to more people. And just me asking this question does our side a bit of good, getting that sort of stuff out there. So there you go, link in the chat. I want to hear what you think. Is it gone too far? Is there any save in it? And if there is save in it, is it like 1, 2, 3 years, or is it 100 years? Is it generational? Is it over? You know, is it even realistic that you could somehow, 42's in, so no one else come in. I'll let you know when you can next come in, and I'll give you the link again. 42, how are you, brother?
Not too bad. How's yourself, son? Chum?
It's an absolute pleasure to hear you. It's been a long time.
It has. And whenever I seen Colin, it was like, I want to get on because I haven't spoken to you in quite a while. So it's nice to get a bit of a catch up.
So you grew up in a situation of conflict.
Yes. Yeah. See what you were describing for your mum not being able to go to the co-op. It was like that half a mile down the road from me. Where I lived was safe, but round about half a mile, 3/4 of a mile down the road was a boundary, a conflict line, and it had its own dedicated gang called the Woodstock Tartan who patrolled the area.
Because that's now, this is weird. I heard that the Irish Republican,
Oh, fuck.
I heard that they were now weirdly patrolling places in Birmingham. And the weird thing is that they're also very woke. And yet, I mean, it was a weird video to watch. I don't really know where he got his sources, but apparently I know that there's people in Birmingham that are you know, they're sort of patrolling the streets at night in like gangs of 20 and 30. So that's already happening.
Yeah,
So,
no, this wasn't a gang of 20 or 30. This was a gang of 15 to 20 on the street and a person at every public phone box. And within 20 minutes, that could grow to 500.
armed?
No. Well, unless you count sticks and bricks.
And maybe they could make a phone call and be armed in relatively short time.
The interesting thing is, whenever it was open conflict between both sides, what would happen is the army would rock up in the middle, and 90% of the time there was no firearms used at that. It's incredibly rare, to the point where there's a memorial on the Newton Ards Road. The 2 lads that were murdered one night, they were shot by RA snipers out of a Catholic church.
I remember it. Right. I absolutely remember it. But without getting too far into that, the Northern Irish situation, but without a doubt calling on your knowledge and experience, where do you, like someone in the chat, I just put it up, look, Dav KN, hello mate, I don't recognise the name, apologies if you've been lurking, but if you're new here, welcome, privileged to have you on the firm. He says, I just can't see any way this is resolved at all. It only gets worse. And we've all watched that since really the end of the Second World War. Yeah. And the leftist sort of self-flagellating orthodoxy kicked in. And as Konstantin Kissing pointed out, you can't have white people collectivizing because, you know, absurd. But he says, I'll leave as soon as I can. I have 4 kids. Yeah. What do you make of all that, 42?
Right. I'll tell you what I say, and this is not digging any person or any group of people out. This is
42. Sorry to interrupt, and I know I'm the endless interrupter, but because of the nature of this
Yeah.
conversation, not the one me and you are having necessarily, but just in general.
Oh, keep it safe.
Yeah, no one's digging anyone out for having their views. This geezer here, if I had an opposing view to him, I'm not going to say you're a traitor or you're an idiot. I'm thinking you've got to do what you think's right for your family. So I think we can keep, not just me and you, I mean everyone who comes on, let's not make it personal. Just tell me what you think.
Looking at this as someone who's 60 years old and has been at protests from I was 6 years old, seen peaceful protests, seen riots, seen pretty much everything imaginable, and looking at where you are in England, I think you're in a very precarious position, because although Big Balls Bosley was on, he said that he thinks at some stage the English people will rise up and throw them out in a similar way to what happened in Ulster about...
Hang on, who was that?
Big Balls Bosley, that does the most.
Yeah. No, he thinks I think Kai Moros is more. That's his thing. He says once the animal is cornered, it's at its most dangerous, and it will rise up and take them out. Big Balls Bobby says that they'll just rot in their own swamp because no one will go there to fix drainage, windows, tradesmen. If it's a no-go area, and you know you're not going to get paid, and you know your van's going to get robbed, and all your tools are going to go, whatever it is. Well, they're almost balkanized little communities.
Yes, but I would, in response to that, I would say, have a look at any video of how they live in Pakistan. Have a look at how they live in India.
Good point.
Have a look at what they're willing to put up with, provided there's gimmies and freebies with it. And I think that to get them to a level where they can't stick it, it's going to destroy the whole rest of the country.
That's a great point, because essentially, if you're up to your knees in your own shit, it's not that much difference from home, but you get a couple of grand a month for your 9 kids and 4 wives.
But here's the thing: your electricity system, your phone system, every bit of infrastructure, your roads have all got to go through their places.
Yeah, but surely it's going to come to a point where the workers are just going to be like, no, I signed up to be a plumber. Why have I got to wear a bulletproof jacket to work?
No, you missed my point. See the big electric pylons that carry the load? Yeah. They've got to go into that area. So we don't have the infrastructure to bypass the likes of Birmingham. It's going to put a change on how your electric system works, north of Birmingham, south of Birmingham, east and west of Birmingham, because everything's currently routed through there as a central place. So if you say, right, we'll just let Birmingham go to shit and it'll all fall apart and we'll ignore it, you've got too much of your infrastructure in there that's necessary to keep the rest of the country going.
I get what you're saying. You can't just let one bit collapse because it's part of a bigger system.
The other problem that I see that you have is the idea of an uprising, and people rising up and putting these people out, similar to what happened in Ulster there after the guy nearly got his head cut off.
And how long did that take?
That started about 15 minutes after the video was released, and it ended 24 hours later with...
apologies, I mean the whole thing.
To get to the point where we could just move in and burn them out?
Well, to the point where there was, a civil war, essentially.
Oh, well... Here's the thing, we were waiting on it. The only thing that we lacked was the excuse. This was all ready to go. And everybody knew what they were doing. And what
And do you think there's anything like that in England at the moment?
I'll tell you what, I watched the footage of the protest after the court case for the guy that was stabbed with the ceremonial blade.
Right, yeah.
There was a bit of ratting after that. There's about 5 people that are doing 2 years jail. And the reason why they're doing 2 years jail is because some fucking dickhead auditing channel live streamed the riot and live streamed the protesters throwing things. And now those people are in jail. Now, we've got a term for that type of person in Ulster, and it's called a fucking tout. And your problem is even the people who are purportedly on your side, and he was more interested in the fact that he was gaining subs than he was about what he was filming. And it's actually really easy. All he had to do was keep his camera on the police. You can watch the stuff falling on them, and nobody gets took to jail. It's fucking.
It's a really interesting point, because I don't like mentioning post-structuralist French historians too often on this channel, but that's Foucault's whole panopticism thing. You know, we live in a world where the surveillance, we moan that England's got more CCTV per capita than anywhere else in the world. Not really, because everyone's desperate to get anything on their phone, get it on Insta, get it on X, get the clicks, maybe earn £25, and meanwhile supplying the police with all the information they need to lock up and I'm not supporting it, but what you could call resistance.
And you can compare and contrast that with any of the footage that you had from Northern Ireland, and you'll see that any time that there was people, there was nothing actually happening. It was filming their backs and they had their hoods up and they weren't identifiable.
Yeah.
Because that.
So go on, 42. What would you do if you were in England?
I've got a plan for the English people. It's actually really simple. Step one.
Keep it for your channel.
No, this is fine and there's nothing illegal. Honestly, if you want a plan for the English people, step one, get your ass down to the Church of England on Sunday morning or Sunday evening. Fill that church, make the congregation double the size of what it currently is. Then, because you've got the size of the congregation, you go to the church elders, and each church is run as an independent private business, and you tell them, we're here every Sunday. We've raised your funds. That means that you can afford to open your church hall at 8 o'clock in the morning, provide a breakfast school for the children, bit of toast, bit of juice, and take them in a walking line to school, which means that the parents have got free childcare. And after school, bring those children back into the church, set up a homework club, get the P7s to teach a P6, the P6 to teach a P5, and so forth, and get the first formers from a previous one to teach the P7s.
So what you're saying is, and I agree with you, is that the infrastructure to organise and to collectivise is already there. It's already there.
It's 100% there, and do you know what you do? See, when
it doesn't actually matter if the local vicars are lesbian with green hair. That doesn't matter. You want the room. You
take the church back. Yeah. You take the church back, because see, whenever you've got the church back, do you know what you can do? You can sack that fucking vicar. And bring in one that's based. And whenever you interview them, you can go, we want the traditional service and we want traditional values.
Based vicar. Well, the thing is, I imagine you just, you could just, once they start spouting their rubbish, just disrupt it. Disrupt it.
It's even easier than that. You just go in because you've spent 3 months and you've doubled their income. How a church works is it's self-funded. So the collection from the congregation pays the minister. So once you went in and and actually turned that church to profit. All you got to do is go to the minister and say, here, things need to change. And they go, well, I don't want to change. You go, that's fine. There's another church in England, church a mile up the road, and we'll go there instead.
Right, gotcha. Right, stage 3.
Right. Once you've got that, you then start to get your local councillors down to see the good work that you're doing from that community centre. You start children's maypole dancing. You start doing a Christmas mummers play. You make sure it's a traditional thing. You put
essentially you start involving yourselves in cultural activities and using culture for what it was always for, to be exclusive.
We are the only people stupid enough to try to fight a culture war without introducing our culture to the front lines.
It's worse than that. 42. We're the only people who are using our strongest weapon, the exclusivity of culture, by trying to make it inclusive.
Yes,
I mean, it's like bending the barrel of your gun round against yourself. It's like culture is meant to be exclusive. It says we're us, you ain't. Okay, that's been established, and you can move from there.
And everything that you do, you put a little George Cross on it. You don't make it obvious. You don't talk about politics. You don't do any of that stuff. You just put a little George Cross to it, and that way everybody that's woke will stay the fuck away. It's really simple.
Is there any more steps? Because I need a wee 42.
Right. Yeah, there's more, but as you build this thing in your community, you've got your city councillors down, you've got them involved, you've found out what grants are available for doing more stuff, because you've then got a communication with them. And when you get things that are larger, you can get your local member of parliament down, and then you've got voting as a block as well.
Yes.
Then you've got genuine leverage. The other thing is, see this group that you formed in your local community. Your next member of parliament, your next councillors are the people that are involved in that are good at speaking but don't really want to do it. And you go to them and go, here, do you know what? You speak our language. You're going for that fucking job whether you want it or not. And you're going in a bit of war. And you do this right across England simultaneously.
Yeah, that's the bit that for me gets a bit difficult. I think things are going to have to get, unfortunately, a lot worse before that kind of organisation can happen.
Well, the biggest difference that there is between England and Northern Ireland is we already have that structure in place.
Yeah.
Via our Orange Lodges, via our marching bands, via our churches that are all interconnected, via our Orange Halls that we can use as a resource, and that infrastructure has been there for 300 years now, which explains why whenever we had that bit of a riot, and I'll qualify that, anything under 4 days of a riot small in Northern Ireland, so we had a bit of a riot a couple of months ago. But what happened was, what you didn't see in any of the videos is there was genuinely peaceful protests in every town and village across, with every unionist town and village, which kept the police in those areas just for traffic management, which meant they couldn't flood the areas where we had an actual operation going.
All right, 42, listen, I'm going to have to let you go, mate. Is there another step?
It's pretty much rinse and repeat with that.
I think if you were to get those three in place,
the other thing you can do,
there's an organic growth after that.
If you get one housing estate where a bunch of people decide they're going to get interested in marsh dancing, right? That's all we're interested in, just marsh dancing. They form a marsh dancing club. Then they go to a community centre and say, we're forming a new marsh dancing club. We've got somebody coming to give us a talk on marsh dancing. we need to book the community centre. Yes, we'll provide free tea and coffee. Yes, it's open to anybody in the estate, and start a relationship there. Then you come in, you do your march dancing practicing, you do a kids one, and then come May Day, you have a march dancing thing in the estate where you start off in the centre, walk to the north entrance, south entrance, east entrance, west entrance, bring it back, and you get people from other estates over to come and watch this. And as they're going in the community centre, you've got this thing on the wall where it says exchanges wanted. So if you've got a 2-bedroom house, a 3-bedroom house, a 1-bedroom house, that you're willing to swap with people from different estates, because the people who are not on board with you will want to move out, which means you can bring in people that are, and then you fortify that estate. And then you rinse and repeat that model. But you're going to have to do the balkanized no matter what the fuck you say.
And in fairness, that's pretty much what Mark Collette has been saying for decades, what you just outlined.
Yeah.
He's always talked about that. You've got to build communities. You know, I remember him talking once about, you know, even just like charity shops and you know, our visitors are doing it. They have their little places to meet. And that's why they build their places of worship as well. And that's then, it acts like a castle. 42, I've got to let you go because I've got to get some more people on.
Yes.
And I've got to have Jimmy ready.
Talk
you can
later.
stay here, actually. You can, 42, you can stay here because I know Packer's dreading having to hold the fort while I have a pee. So crack on, son.
Nice one, Chris. 42.
What about you, Sean?
Why don't you tell us what you're doing later on your own show?
On my own show tonight, I will have this professional co-host Paca on, and we are going to be decoding Lilla, which is a satire political song that was very popular in 1688, and it was basically the soundtrack to the Glorious Revolution. Whenever you listen to it now, it does seem quite confusing, but I'll be taking Paca through, and we're going to unpack it.
You will be taking me through it because I don't get it. I listened to it and it went straight over my head.
Yeah, it would. But basically, it's do you know the song by Dominic Frisby? The one "We're All Right Wing Now"?
No, not off. No.
Well, it's similar to it's like a 300-year-old version of that.
We'll talk about it later.
Yeah, we will.
42, bless you, my friend. Look after yourself. Take care.
All right, all there. Thank you.
Show 42 some love in the chat, people. It's good to see the chat is engaged in this. I'm trying to put as many comments up as possible. Super chats obviously definitely go up, but I'm putting them up. Apologies if you've been here since the beginning, but I am going to give a little 10-second. I never put ads on my videos. I've never had sponsorship. I've been offered them. But if you want to buy my book, check it out on Amazon. Loving the Time of Nudie Mags. Don't trust me. Read the endorsements, see the rankings, read the reviews. Cracking book. And not disconnected to this conversation because it's set in the 80s. And it's a completely different time. It's a different place. Right, here we go. The Reverend Palmer. Is that JP?
Yes, mate.
How are you, son?
Fair to middling, bruv. You all right?
I'm all right. Every time I hear you, it just takes me home. But for people who don't know, JP grew up just over Old Father Thames from me. So it's always nice to hear a local accent.
Back in the day when it was all right to live there.
It weren't all right. It was bliss. When I grew up, one of the things about life you always hear is, you don't know how, we didn't know how good we had it. But I did. I loved it. I loved growing up in Dartford. I loved being able to stroll around in the summertime, every door on my street would be open. You just bowl in, 6 or 7 years old, on the ponce for some biscuits or some orange squash. Have you got
something like that?
Go on, John.
we never used to go to a gym or anything like that, but we was all fit as fuck because we walked everywhere. We walked everywhere. We walked to the next town because we knew everyone in the next town as well. And we walked everywhere, and it was safe. Or we'd get our bikes out, and it's just a different world now here,
Hang
isn't
on
it?
a minute, John. Oi, Jack, I only have one person at a time, but you're next. But I've kicked you because it chews up bandwidth. Yeah, summer holidays, out the door at 8 o'clock in the morning on your bike, and you'd get back because you're hungry. Mum will give you a kick in the ear.
Summer holidays now, and I can't hear a single kid out there playing. I've not seen a single kid out there on their bikes. I ain't seen groups of kids playing out there or anything. Unbelievable.
It's nuts, isn't it? A lot of people blame the internet and social media and all that, but I'm not buying that because
I don't think it is either. I don't think it is either.
I think parenting might have a lot to do with it.
I think that's exactly what it is.
But I don't blame the parents because I think there's so much fear put into them. There's so much fear, but when you actually get a group of kids together, like it's funny, 42 was talking about a church. Me and my mate, our geography teacher at school, he was a proper, like you knew he was the vicar of the local church because everyone just used to take the piss out of him. And his daughter was the vicar's daughter. Is that a trope? It certainly was at our school.
Was she?
Oh, she used to come to school with her skirt up round her neck.
Yeah, all the same, yeah.
And my mate went to me, "Oi, they have a kids' church and they take you rock climbing, they take you," and we had computers. I mean, it was no internet, but I loved my ZX Spectrum. Me and my mate, elite all day long. But he said they take you rock climbing, ice skating, motorbiking, they have barbecues. And once you're in a group of kids, obviously when you're a kid, don't clip that, anyone. when you're in a group of kids, you come alive because we are social beings. My
mum and dad stuck me and my siblings in all the groups going, everything going, from swimming clubs to like Sea Cadets, Cub Scouts, everything. And we did everything.
You're similar age to me. I bet you've done some sort of martial art as well.
Yeah, karate.
Or boxing. Yeah, karate. Yeah. I done judo and karate.
My mother wouldn't let me do boxing. My mother was she was very different. She was the opposite of my old man. So, no, fighting, no.
But John, hang on one moment, John. Sorry to interrupt you. But money talks. Albatross has dropped an out in the centre. Hoyt to that. Nice to see you, Albert, as well. John, what? I don't want you to give any details that you don't want to give, but what would you tell an 18-year-old if you had one? Oh, yeah, 16. No, I don't know when they come out of school in England. What would your advice be?
What for the future?
To your own sibling who says, "Dad, I'm gonna be leaving school next year. I'm thinking about going to university."
No, I'd say no. Get a trade, be a plumber, and then get the fuck out of Northwest Europe. Just get out, because there is nothing here now. There is nothing. Nothing, and even if you find something, you're being taxed up the arsehole. It's not just about the immigrants, it's about everything else. The price of buying an house, the price of food, the price.
I think that's over. That's kind of over, isn't it?
It's only going up, isn't it? It's only going, and that's what I mean. Britain, the Northwest Europe is over, mate. It's over. The only thing coming is a collapse. Nobody's coming to save us. Nobody is coming to save us. No figure, no party.
John, do you see anything like what 42 was saying happening?
Well, exactly, yeah, exactly what 42 was saying. Yeah, that's the only way Britons will survive in Britain.
But do you see it happening? Have you
don't see it happening? No, and that's the point. I don't see it happening because nobody's doing it. Everyone's waiting for someone else to do it, or when that happens, I'll come on up. Well, When are you going to do it? No one's going to do it for you. When are you going to do it? When are you going to start?
It's also got, what's his name, the classic video clip of the supposed USSR defector, what's his name, Berzamov or something, talks about demoralization and how it's like this sort of thing.
You know, we've been demoralized for 80 years now.
Yeah.
Every year we just demoralised. There's no fight in the country. I don't care what anyone says. None of you have got a fight in you to fight for this country.
But it's not only that though.
It's
John.
not. No, you're right. It's not about fighting in the streets. It's so much more of that. Nobody's up for it. Nobody.
But what I mean is, like, if you have got a couple of kids or a few kids, whatever, like living out in what is considered a third world country by a lot of people, buying an house out here is quite easily doable because land is cheap as chips out in the jungle, you know.
Yeah.
And the paperwork is like, you can do it in a day. You just
as our ancestors did when they went to Australia, when they went to the Americas. Our ancestors have done it. So why are you going, oh, I ain't going, no, why? Why not? Why not for a better life?
But the thing is, what really strikes me, even just having to go back to England when my mother died, the fucking death admin, just to record a death, we had to go all over the shop.
Yeah.
And then for me and my brother to get our hands on the property that we were obviously two sons. She didn't leave a will because she just, I think, I can, as I age, I understand why people don't want to write a will. It's a little bit like well, it's in the post now. You know, that took a year and a half. And I think that if you are if people were to do what 42 said and essentially collectivise using the church as your infrastructure, great. But there's so much power, ideological and well-financed power
against you.
That you will be slurred. It won't be, the local churches are really filling up. It will be the far right.
The church, they're taking over, Even now, it's every day.
They'll put plants in those churches working for them. Then the Guardian go in and they film someone who's not like exactly going, I tell you what, I can't wait till we get armed and fuck because that's globalism, and that in this instance is the enemy. Yeah. And it's like Hugh said to me.
There's no getting this back now. There really isn't, and it pains me. I fought for my country. I believed in it once. I believed in it so much I was willing to die. I put my life on the line for it.
People who don't know, JP was a sailor. Is that the right term? In the Navy?
Ooh, sailor.
In the Navy. Oh, come on, as if you've never used that on a bird. I used to be a sailor, love, you know.
All the time.
I bet you still put on your silly hat and your blue flared trousers.
Only when my missus asks me.
But seriously though, John, anything can happen, but I am heartbroken and very pessimistic.
I am. I guess that's what angers me so much, because I feel like, you know, like the men that went to war in World War II and then they came home and everything they were told they were fighting for was spit on them. And that's how I felt like the government, and not just the government, the people. I always felt like the people, the general public, spit on me as well, because they don't care. They just go along and get told what the government tell them. And that was proven to me with COVID, getting your jab, having your mask on. That people, I can
remember like 10, 11 years ago, people talking about, it's only going to take a couple of when this multicultural project fails, that'll kick people into gear. Well, between 250,000, perhaps 1 million British girls who got treated, I've got to be a bit careful about talking about that, but you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And then you add that to COVID. I mean, if
It's
they
not just
don't,
20 years. I mean, Griffin was talking about it in the early 2000s, and look at all the things that have happened in the last 25 years, and still nothing's going to kick the people up the arse, because half of them are against us. And that's the fact. I watched this geezer. My missus got me onto him. I watch this geezer on YouTube at the moment. He goes out and stands in the street with billboard on, with the transy flag on, and it says "Women are men." And he has arguments, or not? He says, "Come and talk to me," because the amount of people, when he keeps it on camera, I walk past him and go, "Ah, you bigot, you wanker," who fight him. Throw things at him.
Hang on. Whoa. I think you've either confused me or you said it wrong. He's got a billboard on that says women aren't men.
Trans men are not women.
Right, yeah, okay.
Trans men are men. Or trans women are men, whatever. A bloke in a dress with a cock is not a woman.
Essentially.
Yeah.
I watched a channel, all you scrubs. If you're new here, give us a subscribe. If you don't like the next few videos, you can unsubscribe. Like the video. If you haven't seen this channel, it's called Dutch Travel Maniac. Right? He's this brick shit house Dutch fella, and he goes to all the places in Europe, all the no-go zones. And it's just him and a camera. I think I've seen a couple where he's got a mate with him. And he's also done a video, I think, with Fred the bodyguard. You know that bloke who made himself famous, giving that geezer a slap in, I think it was Manchester. But he just strolls through these like no-go zones, and he's got all these immigrants telling him that you can't film here. And he goes, "This is fucking Europe. I can film wherever I fucking want."
I've seen him. I know you mean, yeah. I know you mean, yeah.
No shit's given, and like when they go at him, he just pushes them, and they go like these little.
Yeah, he did it the other week, didn't he? With there was two immigrant lads that had just swum over from Morocco into the Spanish enclave.
That's it. I see that one, and they were saying "fuck Spain, fuck Europe, with all this shit," and he was like, he started off just saying, "If you don't like it, why don't you go back home then?" And then they start getting a bit leery, and he sort of just flicks.
Well, that's sad. English people are treating this English bloke in England who just says trans women aren't women.
Right.
English people, yeah. And this what I mean. Half the fucking population. That's it, edge of the matrix. Yeah. Half the population are against us. There's no winning. Half of them are against us.
Yeah, but the thing is, John, once it's on their doorstep, which it will be, that might change.
And you're right, and you're right. But then it's too late, isn't it? As we're seeing with the immigrant thing now. Now they're all here and they're being starbursted out to all the villages, and there is on their doorstep. And what can they do? They can't do anything, can they?
John, I see this thing earlier now. Admittedly, I just sort of, what do you call it when you just don't quite read it? There's a phrase, isn't there?
Skim.
When you skip read it. But basically, there was this little village of 200 or 300 people, small little village, and they wanted to drop over 1,000 refugees, and all the villagers, I can't remember exactly how it turned out, but the villagers who were mainly pro-refugees were suddenly like, don't know about this.
Yeah.
And so there was this big campaign, and then some leftist organisation that saw what was happening, knew that this wouldn't look good, and they joined the villagers to campaign to not put the refugees in there, and they said because it would be bad for the refugees. So they made a win out of a loss. I mean, dislike the left, but that's fucking clever. That's fucking clever. They knew it weren't going to happen, so they made it their win.
And,
You know, it wouldn't be good.
I hate them, but I respect them because they not only are they clever people organising them, they collectivise when it matters.
No, you right not yet there. They've got the clever people organising, and the rest of them are just useful idiots.
Yeah,
you know, we know that.
And they collectivise.
42 says everyone wants to be an activist until it requires you leave the internet. Well, that was the point I was trying to make. 42. It's such a bureaucratic culture. John, you're breaking up a bit, son.
It's all right. Can you hear me?
I can't hear nothing now. Packer, can you hear John?
Can you hear me?
I can't. Your mic's off, Packer.
Yeah, I can hear John. Can I chat here, John?
Hi.
Speak, John.
Some people work for love.
No, you can't, you liar. Thank you, 42. John, I'll let you go, mate, because you've gone absolutely AWOL, dare I say. Hoyt to JP.
See you later, mate.
Was that? Oh, you've come back. Hang on. Finish what you were just saying. It's just you disappeared.
I can't remember what was I saying. What's my name,
John? See you later, mate.
See you later.
Jack London. Long time no see. Oh, he didn't like it here much, did he? See you, Jack. I'll put the link in the chat.
Jack London, everybody.
Sometimes it's quality, not quantity. I'll put the link in the chat, but if Jack comes back in, you'll have to wait. I don't know. I mean, listen, everyone. I am playing devil's advocate. I don't want to agree with everyone because it's of no interest, and you know that's how you thrash out and hash out your situation. But it's heartbreaking. It's absolutely heartbreaking. I'm just waiting for someone to join, but I've just put. Oh, here we go. Jack's back. Is he buffering for you? Here he is.
No, he's all right. Scratching his head.
Jack London.
Oh no!
Wrong stream.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you, 42.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Hold on. Right. 2 seconds. Give me 2 seconds.
Jack's never done this before.
Hello, guys. How are you?
All right.
I'm all right.
Yeah?
Yeah,
well, it should be fine because I go on.
Sorry, the geezer in the chat who's called Immigrant here, you're welcome to come on, but I only have one person at a time, so you'll be next. I'm going to kick you out now because it eats up bandwidth, and we're obviously having trouble with bandwidth, but you can come in next, all right?
Okay.
Go on, Jack. What's your position in this situation?
Well, first of all, would you like to guess where I am?
No.
I'm no longer in a hostel.
Ooh. Okay, well that's unless you tell me where you are, that might not be a good thing. You could be in Wormwood Scrubs.
I am 5 minutes walk away from that there Ragnar Ironspear fella. I've got a flat in Ballymoney, the same town as Rags.
You just doxed him. He's loving you.
No, God, people knows where he lives. Not going to give his road name away, don't worry.
Well,
fantastic. I was in the hostel for 13 months there. Bit of a rough ride, you know. There were some good, funny moments, but most of the time it was pretty bleak. But yeah, I've been here.
Listen, Jack. Listen, I'm going to stop you there just because I did say at the beginning we're going to try and keep this on point.
No worries.
Yeah, it's lovely to know that things are going well I know it went very bad for you for a while there, but you're looking well. Nice to see you on the screen.
I just thought I'd catch you up quickly with it. That's all.
No, lovely, and congratulations. When things are moving up, it's easier to motivate yourself to put in the work to move them up further. When things are going down, it's very easy to just let it keep going down. So congratulations. I'm happy for you, man.
Thank you very much.
The case of the United Kingdom.
Well, obviously I moved over from England. Coming 4.5 years now I've been out of England for, and I'm quite glad I made the move when I did, to be fair, because England will always be my country of birth and where my my culture lies, but I'm very, very happy here, and I don't see. To me, England seems a lot more cooked than it is over here. Not so much down in the Republic of Ireland, which is terrible, but up here in Northern Ireland, it doesn't seem to be as.
Have you visited Ayr, and is it as bad as the clips and the reports I've heard? Apparently, they're really going for the whole multicultural thing.
Yeah, I visit Ayr quite often because my mum lives there, you see. Where she lives is very nice, but there's a few towns on the way down there, like Dundalk and Drogheda and that are like completely overrun, and Dundalk has a very significant Somalian community, if you want to call them that.
Sinn Féin are woke as hell, aren't they? They were always communists. Martin McGuinness was always a communist.
Always communist. They go for complete open borders. I think they've been losing. That. Yes. Yeah.
Wow. As part of policy, as part of vote for us, we're going to scrap borders, let anyone come in, and it's a good thing.
It appears that way. Obviously, they've. It doesn't really matter what the people think. There are big numbers that are against it down there as well. It's not everyone on the same page down there, but the government have a lot to answer for as well.
That is governance, isn't it? That's at the heart of all of this, really, isn't it? We've been in the UK's been stitched up by like the last 30 years of governance. They've all promised one thing. It's been policied in their manifesto, and they've done the complete opposite. And
manifestos.
I still don't know why. This idea that it's cheap labour, they're a net loss.
GDP. It doesn't matter how much the indigenous people are suffering, as long as your GDP is, which doesn't mean anything to the layman, does it?
But it isn't even working out like that. We spend on them.
No,
they cost a fortune. A huge amount of the budget goes on welfare. Let's find out exactly. Talk away, Jack.
Yeah.
Anything else?
Yeah. Well, no, I mean, just like my hometown. Obviously, I was a Basingstoke lad from when I lived in England. Not born, but raised there. From a very early age. And speaking to friends and that, they said, I've only been gone 4 years, and they said you wouldn't even recognise it in the 4 years. How bad things have changed.
They said that to me about Dartford. I didn't believe them. I got there, and you know what? I'd love to take my missus back to where I lived, just to see where this is where I grew up, but it simply isn't there anymore. I've got nothing against change. Change is inevitable. I don't expect any nation or any village, town, whatever, to be a museum. That's ridiculous. But it's not anything to do with where I grew up. It's just not. It's it's not
Now-
an organic change where you can see some kind of cultural sort of development and progress. No, it's a foisted and no, you're having this.
Yeah.
Much to the detriment of the people who already lived there. Well, check this out. Roughly a quarter of UK government spending goes on welfare. And for 25-26, the government forecasts 323 billion of welfare spending, equivalent to 23.6 of total government spending.
Sorry, that's over a year, is it? A year's worth?
Yeah. And also, here's the thing: it doesn't say that on that little Gemini thing. It's hilarious when you open up ChatGPT. If you look at ChatGPT in a Google browser, up in the top corner it says "Ask Gemini." It's like robot wars. But
Sir Killalot.
Suggest, I loved him, man, brilliant. I would. It's an educated guess as well, because I actually know the majority of that is pensions.
Yes.
Now that is a
it will be,
massive concern for the UK, because we have got an aging population. They're saying people around my age, I mean, not including me for obvious reasons, are going to live till 80 to 90.
We've got an aging population, and much to the detriment, and an Asian population as well.
It's a clever bit of wordplay from Jack London, people.
Thank you. You know I love a pun. But
Picard. Yeah, look. Picard was born in Barking, grew up in Ilford, and then I moved to England. Look at his face, try not to laugh at his own joke.
Yeah, good old Packer. Good to see you, Packer, by the way, mate.
Wait for that, man. So thank you, Packer. So you're plotted up there, you think, for the end of your days now? You think that's the place?
Yeah,
for you?
I plan to.
Northern Ireland.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Northern Ireland. Yeah. There's nothing back for me in England, unfortunately. You know, I've got family, obviously.
Do you feel it will survive this multicultural experiment much longer than the rest of the UK?
Northern Ireland? Yes, I do.
Yeah,
I do. I fully believe that. Yeah.
Because of communities and organisations.
Communities are still very, very big here. Like, I mean, growing up, like I grew up on a big long road, and there was lots of young families, and we had a community. But again, with progress and everything, kids don't leave their houses anymore. You couldn't keep me in the house as a kid, you know.
You didn't want to be there, did you?
No, and like you've mentioned before, like, you know, you just walk into your friend's house and you'd say, "Hello, Mr. So and so," and you know, and every like that chocolate bar and some weak lemony squash. Do you know what I mean? It was fantastic. But that seems to have gone now, and as much as I would love for that to have been back, I'm obviously not naive enough to know that, you know, like you say, things change. You can't live in a museum, but things don't necessarily have to change for the worse, though, do they? Which is essentially what it's been doing for the past 30 years, like you say, for sure.
Since the end of the Second World War, when we had to start whipping ourselves. Spider AJ bought 10 futures on Buy Me a Coffee. That was a couple of days ago, on the back of one of my Substack posts. If you've just joined, Substack link in the description. But that Spider AJ also bought me 20 futures a week ago. and he subscribed to my paid Substack for a year, bless him. And also,
There you go.
Werney UK has bought me a future, and he says, you are not an N-word. So both of those people, I'll send you a minute video later. It's not a pre-prepared one. I'll reply to your comments. Thank you very much. Much appreciated.
Yeah, well, listen, yeah, go on.
No, but I need I don't, well, if you don't want to provide it, but are you optimistic? Are you glass half full, glass half empty about the future of Western Europe? Is this going to get sorted out? Is there a chance of claiming back a quality of life? Multiculturalism has failed, and it hasn't only failed the ethnic natives; it's failed everyone involved. Can that be reversed in the first place? I mean, when I met Hugh on The Offensive, he used to have the On The Offensive channel. I met him out in Vietnam once for a few too many beers, and oh man, we got served up some chicken hearts, little chicken hearts in this. It was a freebie because I took my missus and it was our anniversary, and he went, "Oh, mate, you're so special," and he put these two little like glasses down. And the missus, who grew up eating whatever they could find because of the war. And
tarantulas.
Oh, no, she still eats them today. They serve them at restaurants out here. But she was just munching.
I tell the story to people like I say, I've got a pal who lives out in Cambodia, and like when he takes the missus out for dinner and orders himself a nice bit of ribeye, and his dinner comes, and then opposite there's just some crispy tarantulas on a plate for dinner. Or didn't you wake up once with? Yeah. Didn't you wake up once with some baby eels swimming in your sink?
We get that all the time. No, it's. I had a bin bag full of rats. I picked up my bin bag and it was just like moving, and then one got out and it was like the Pied Piper, about 30 of them, like the size of your foot, sort of just jumped out. And like, the worst one was staying out in a province, and a tukai, they're like a gecko, but they're about so big, and they're like turquoise. Well, they come in all different colors, but this one was turquoise and red, which the sort of Western brain doesn't respond to a turquoise with red spotted animal very well. And they go, and I'm like, I'm saying to my missus, fucking hell. And she's just laughing, you know. And she says, sometimes wake up on your nose. As soon as she says nose, I'm thinking penis. And next time I went out there, next time she said, let's go to the province. I was like, yeah, you know what? I'm so busy. She said, don't worry, I've sorted it all out. Now the house, that room that we stayed in, it's like metal, corrugated metal sides. The roof isn't joined to them. It's, you know, because it's so hot out there, you can't. Heat rises, goes up, then goes out. So things like tarantulas, snakes, geckos, they can just come in your house. You know what she'd made it safe for me? Mosquito net.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, is that it? And she was tucking it under the mattress, like, and I'll tell you what, worst night's sleep you ever had.
Are you still into them things with the sugar and what you got right into them? Was it the coconut and the sugar in some sort of like
in the cane, wasn't it?
Oh, the galan. Galan.
That's it.
Yeah.
It's a piece of bamboo stuffed with rice, coconut,
that's it.
milk, and jackfruit. Not so much, because I was eating like 3 a day, and I put on about 20 kilos. I'll tell you what. Any of you, hang on, Jack. I'll let you go with this. Anyone who's got a little bit of capital, 5 grand, 10 grand, learn how to make them efficiently. The problem is with galan, they take about 6 hours to make. They're baked. and bamboo is actually big old green thing. They sort of barbecue it, you know, they bury all coals underground, they chuck them all in. It burns off all the greenery, and you're left with what we recognise as bamboo, you know, like a wooden stick. But if you set up a little tiny, like one of those shops that's just like in an alleyway, and you had 3 or 4 different variations, a jackfruit one, a mango one, a passion fruit one, you'd be able to knock them out in Soho, tenner a pop. There's a business there, I tell you. I kept trying to get my missus to do it out here, give out flyers to all the Westerners out here, you know, tell them a little map on it where to get them. They're so good, and they're like $1 for one, and you could easily sell them in England for 10.
Before I go, let me just ask you, Cambodia, is the building and all the infrastructure, is that still sort of going at a really fast pace, like you used to mention? Yeah.
And unfortunately, I mean, luckily, I'm not well off enough to buy in Phnom Penh, and I wouldn't either. We got a bit of land out in the provinces, like the size of a football pitch, for next to nothing, and that's where I'll see my days out. I've got a 5-year plan to earn some money as a writer. Yeah. Build house there. I mean, even if it comes to it, we'll knock up a traditional house, which all the locals will help you build, you know, bamboo, leaves, cost about 500 quid. I'll see my days out there. And I think out in the provinces, and it's very far out, it's right near the Vietnam border, really, near the Ho Chi Minh Trail. I don't think the modern world is going to infect it for about another 40, 50 years, and I won't be alive then. So, yeah, in a way, it's bliss to me. I don't like spiders, I don't like snakes, I don't like lizards, I don't mind the little ones, but it's a price I'm willing to pay to be able to sit and write, live with someone I love, and not be worried.
Have you had any wanking monkeys around lately?
I will talk to you soon, Jack. It's been an absolute pleasure. Hoi.
Thank you, pal. Take it easy. Thanks for having me on. Bye-bye.
Wanky. It wasn't wanking. One of them was banging. The alpha monkey in my back garden in my old house was banging a female monkey. Well, I hope he was. Well, I don't know. The other monkey might have been gay. Not that there's anything right with that. But the monkey that was taking it was just eating. Like, oh, do you have to do that while I'm eating? 42 has dropped another lady. Hoit to that. He says this. Let me just have some water. Packer, read that out, can you, son?
He says the biggest danger to Northern Ireland is the Irish getting the border down with the assistance of left-wing British government. Then it's civil war.
That is a very interesting angle to take. So, yeah, I don't know enough about it, but I can see what your point is. At the moment, that separation's working. You're all right with it, okay? But come on, people, you know, we don't need borders. We're all just people. And then that's actually functioning. You know, this is the madness of culture, exclusivity, and the nation state. We talked about it before. If you haven't got skin in the game, you lose the trust of a society. People stop paying taxes. People do rob other people. The idea of delimiting a land, whether it's just a pen line on a map and a name, or whether it's through water and land, delimiting an area, giving it a name, it having a culture, a history, traditions, and ethnicity, that's its function. borders have a function. They allow people to work as one, which is how comes that tiny piss little island in the middle of the Atlantic was one of the greatest empires the world has ever seen. Because they're you know, yes, it was a totally class society, but you know why? Because society always will be, because people aren't created equal. Just get over that. Come on, we've all left first year art school. We don't need to LARP as Karl Marx anymore. But you know, no borders means no culture. No culture means no nothing. Total inclusivity. And the only way you get total, or should I say pure inclusivity, is enforced. That's what Andrew Wilson calls the force doctrine. And I absolutely agree with him. It's an excellent thesis, the force doctrine. You know, you only get rights because people can force them. People can enforce them. It always comes down to force. Like feminism exists because men allow women to be feminists, because women just aren't as strong as men. I know Andrew Wilson's a bit controversial, but he's got some very interesting and new takes, stuff I haven't heard before, although he does sometimes quote writers who I haven't heard of. There was a geezer in here earlier slagging me and you off, Packer, going, what are these two, the Aryan race? I mean, I don't think we claim to be the perfect Aryan race, but his name was Bourdieu fan. I was wondering if it was Pierre Bourdieu, because I'm a fan of Pierre Bourdieu. He wrote a classic book called, what's it called? It was called Distinction, and the subtitle was something like an investigation into taste. Very interesting book, actually. Thank you, 42. Very kind, very generous. All right. There was someone whose name was Immigrant here. I'll put the link in the chat. I've pressed the wrong button. I'll put the link in the chat again. If you want to come in, more than welcome. The link is in the chat. Very active chat tonight. I'll get some more of these in here. Moody Edge says, how much of the rest of the country has somebody that says get out? All right, let me go. How much of the rest of the country has somebody that says get out seen? Or do they just sit indoors watching Goy Boomer news all day and think that everywhere is the same? I'm not playing it down. I'm a bit confused by that. I mean, my position is I don't see it. I don't see how a nuclear military with the money that at least the City of London has got, I don't see how it can uncouple from the globalist project. You know, England, especially England, I'm not discounting the UK, but it's like a huge airport really at this point. And I just you know, if something what like 42 was saying were to happen, I mean, there's always a chance, but the money and the power and the governance that controls that money and power certainly seem to be winning. Now, I know I haven't answered you directly, but that's because I'm not quite sure what you're saying. Is it something to do with me not having seen? I've seen a fair amount of the UK, but I hope I answered something. Maybe I didn't.
He says, hang on. The cities are fucked, I get that, but not everywhere is like that yet anyway. So
yeah, that's what. Yeah, agreed. I've got friends who've moved out of Dartford to like Lincolnshire, and I'm like, you know, that was years
very nice,
ago.
by the way.
I said, why are you moving? They said, You know why? And I was like, yep, yes, I do. And then I said to him, how is it up there? He says, it's lovely. He said, but I'm scared for my kids, because his kids are like early 20s. And if it carries on like it is, like it seems to be, it won't take long. It won't take long to be everywhere, because the whole world is trying to get here. You remember that classic video, the geezer with the sweets in the jars, showing you how many people live under the poverty line and all that, and how big America actually is. And, you know, I think it could happen in a matter of years. You know, places like Truro just overrun with refugees. I don't know. Oh, looks like you've had a super chat. Johnny Boy Fuse drops the scores on the door. Hoyt to that. John, I haven't forgotten what we agreed, either re-Substack, so don't worry about that. I'll let you know when that kicks in. I'm going to wait till there's a few more paid members before I do that, because it's a good course and I want a few more people to get it live. It will still be up for everyone to see, but it'll be, you know, it's interactive. I'll be asking you to do things, and the next week when you come back, we'll have a look at them. So, but I haven't forgotten. John Few says this: young people's futures are being wrecked to protect the old. Oh, sorry. Young people's futures are being wrecked to protect the old. National debt is exploding, and the young will become a minority. Absolutely. This can't continue. Social contract broken. Our own people are frivolous and apathetic. Agreed on all of those things. I do like to cut people a little bit of slack, though, because this isn't a project that a couple of people knocked up in a room somewhere. This has been going on for decades, and, you know, some very powerful, well-connected people have wanted this to happen. And I don't think I've really made the point, but that bureaucratic, administrative hellhole, when you just want to do something very simple. Like out here, if you want to build an extension, you just build it. And some people are like, oh, isn't that a bit dangerous? Well, maybe, but if it's in your house, you're not really going to fuck it up too much, are you? And I don't see many houses falling down. I don't know. I just think it's very difficult, because if you just take a week, if a man of a household of children takes a week off work, his boss is just going to go, you can't just take a week off work. And then it's like, oh yeah, I've got to go to court because I got nicked at that protest. Yeah, you now you haven't got a job. It's almost like you're caught in a spider web of admin and responsibilities. And it's like all these students start in life with these huge debts. You know, debt is the worst thing. Unless you debt can make you a fortune. You can use debt in your favor. You know, most businesses do. Most businesses love borrowing money. But there's a different sort of debt that you're lumbered with. And to leave a crappy Cambridge, and I can say that now, a crappy Cambridge degree where your professor was our friend Jason, who's no longer with us. Gutted, man. Gutted. How are you going to invest any money? How are you going to save any money? You've got to start dishing it out at some point. Yeah, I'm with you, John. I'm with you, mate. Right. Anyone? We've got 10 minutes left. If anyone wants to come in, I'll put the link in the chat again. Why doesn't it do it when I press the right button? Because I was pressing the wrong button. Okay, don't forget to like the stream, people. That'll be very helpful. My channel's shadow banned up to its knees. Let's have a look at some of the chat. Broski Bro says it's a setup. Hello, Doc Shelley. He says that. I can't say that. Paul Clulo says, you can't leave your country. There's too many of our dead in the graveyard just to leave. It's poetic, but if it's your children, does that really matter? You know, you've got one life. Are you going to risk living it here, or maybe go somewhere like Switzerland?
My children will make up their own mind.
Yeah, but they don't make it up passively. They make it up based on what their parents do and say and their beliefs. You know, and also what they're taught at school. And we now know that kids are taught leftist, globalist nonsense from 4 years old. So whose mind are they really? Are they making up their own mind, or are they having it made up for them? And, you know, someone with no kids, or I'd have my own kids, I'd teach my own kids. Yeah, easily said when you haven't got them. He's got a couple of bull terriers. Hello, Toffee.
They're not bull terriers. How many times do I have to tell you, lad?
Right. Are they Staffordshire bull terriers?
Yes.
That's right. Right. Okay. Sorry. You've only.
How are we anyway, gents?
Sorry.
How are we? Are we good?
I'm all good, Toffee. How are you?
I'm good. It's been interesting. I'd like to know your take on it, because do you still live in the motherland, like your manor, where your accent comes from?
Yeah. Do you know what? I've only just tuned into the stream like about 10 minutes ago, so I've missed most of this. But yeah,
Well,
I live.
all right. I can summarise it quickly. What do you think is going to happen? Are you optimistic or pessimistic about the future? Do you think it's beyond the point of no return?
No, I'm optimistic. Very optimistic.
For what reasons? What gives you that optimism?
Very much feel lately like people are sort of waking up. More people are willing to listen to our talking points. I feel
like I've been saying that for like 10 years though, and people like, you know, Mark Collette have been saying it for 25 years, and every time I think they've woken up, and if they don't wake up after all the, you know, what happened to hundreds of thousands of girls, what is going to wake them up?
Well, I have to watch what I say, obviously, don't I?
Yeah, understood.
We're for the likes of us three and everyone else on this stream, this has become completely insufferable at this point. But unfortunately, it's not insufferable for most people. We've still got fucking Domino's pizza and PlayStation and all that. They're happy with that distraction. This isn't going to last. And once all of those things are gone, people are going to get fucking angry, I think. Because these people who we're bringing in, they cannot maintain our society. They're not going to be able to do this. We've already seen it in certain areas, like in Birmingham, where everything's fallen to shit. Everything's going to fall to shit. And once it does, our people are going to be like, oh, do we really want this? I don't think so.
That's Big Balls Gavin Bobby's take, isn't it? That they just can't maintain a society, and we know that because we've seen where they come from. Now, it may be a society to them, but they're not the standards that Western European people are used to.
Do you know, it's so frustrating. Just like think of this, like on a basic human level. We're a nice, peaceful country here. I pay tax. All of my family have obeyed the law throughout their lives. We've done everything we're meant to do. And now we've been invaded with these people. Not that word. Now we've been flooded with these people. It's like, what the fuck? What? We shouldn't have to put up with this. I pay tax here.
Yeah, we also.
I like to feel safe.
Yeah, but the government, it would appear that on, you know, all the big institutions, the judiciary, the legacy media, the government, the police, none of them seem to be working for us. They seem to be working for our visitors. And that doesn't happen by accident. That's arranged.
So the busies now, there's basically the busies used to be there used to be a height limit with the police of 6 foot, and there used to be like fellas who were in the army who actually give a fuck about the country. We had a busy round ours, a Welsh fella, and he like walked the beat, and we absolutely respected this man. He was an ex-marine, and he'd just come over to us. And he'd speak to us like we want to be. He'd come over and say, "You're being little cunts. Get out the fucking area now." And we'd appreciate it. We were like, "Yeah, fair enough. That's what you need." But now you just got none of these types of men are getting into the police force. It's just unless you're a compliant fucking drone, you're not getting into the police force. So we're just being policed by the worst amongst us. Bully victims. It's like Revenge of the Nerds. You know, these little whoppers who got bullied in school. And now they've all joined the police force and they're getting their revenge on us.
It really feels like that. I mean, I've been tapped up by the old bill plenty of times. I'm just thinking, look how much pleasure you're getting out of this. No. And all you're going to do is cost taxpayers money, because I'm never going to call for a 10 bag, you don't. It just ain't happening. And I could tell you their names. I'm going to PC Furman and Terry Sims. Christmas morning. Uniformed. They'd come in, they'd knock on our door, come in, my old man would pour them a little whiskey or something. I've got photos here that I kept a few photos from my mother's house, obviously. I've got their old bill out on, I've got the coat on, it's got the radio on, I've got the wooden truncheon. I mean, I'm showing my age now. And like that was just Christmas morning, the old bill come around to say hello, you know, how's everything going and that. And it wasn't like we were best mates or anything. When they caught me nicking the bikes off the postman's bike, they give me a slap and like, I'll catch you doing that again, son. I'll tell your old man, and they'll give you a bigger slap than I have. And I'll be like, no. But they're not part of the community. The police used to live in the town that they walked the beat in. That got stopped. That there was a policy to stop that. The houses I lived when I was at my undergraduate course were called the police houses, and they were behind the police station. And the gathers used to finish their day's shift or whatever, walk out, and their family would live in the police houses, because that's why they're called the police houses. But culture changed, society changed to the point where that just wasn't safe enough. At the end of the day's work, a copper had to get at least a couple of towns away because someone had smashed them up if they see them or if they knew where they lived, you know. What a mess.
I mean, don't get me wrong, this is going to get bad. You think this is bad now? Fucking strap yourself in. This is going to get very bad in the next few years. But if I wasn't confident that we'll be all right in the end, I wouldn't bother me ass with all of this, like me online presence. I'd just fucking go and wank me life away and play on the PlayStation and just ignore everything. But I know we'll be all right.
You're that confident.
Very confident.
That's not a judgment, because I don't know. But I mean, I didn't come out here to escape England. I had many reasons to come out here. It was 8 years ago, but I'm very pessimistic about it at the moment, because this like actually the last thing you said regarding that it's going to get a lot worse before it gets better. Yeah, it's going to all those native liberals who are like, no, the open borders, let them in. Once it's on their doorstep, that's when you start getting the numbers. And that's where, you know, that's what we haven't got at the moment, because they're concentrated on the cities and the shitty areas of the cities as well. Yeah. But once it's like Harrogate, once it's like nice places where people have got £2 million houses, or, you know, more than that, that's when people will start waking up, because it doesn't affect them at the moment. So, you know, I'm not going to get bothered with that. That's for the working classes to worry about, like it always.
Yeah, Dange, you're a literacy guy, aren't you? I'm sure you're onto it. Do you know Rudyard Kipling? Is it The Wrath of the Anglo-Saxon?
Yeah.
I think it's called.
Yeah.
You're onto that.
Yeah,
I think that sums us up perfectly.
Yeah. Amazing that he wrote that. Incredible.
Isn't it? It's like a mad little fucking prediction, like 100 years into the future.
Yeah. So the geezer that wrote the Jungle Book as well. It's like this strange symmetry going. I want to be like you. Ooh, 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 ooh.
Hey, by the way, lad, I'll have to duck out in a minute. I'm working. By the way, mate, I mean this from the bottom of my heart. Do you know you with your new book that you brought out? When
What, this one?
That's the one. Different colours because Packer smokes too many ciggies in the same colour or something. That, mate, and I said it, me and Sensa were on the stream after it. I don't mean to sound gay. When you were announcing that, it made me happy to see how happy that you were. Because I've followed you for years, as you know, and it was just nice to see you happy. It was like, yeah, I've done it. I've done what I wanted to do. I'm one of them people, it's nice to see people achieving things, and I just thought it was nice.
Toffee, I will accept that. And writing means the world to me. It really does. But that's not the one I've been working on for 10 years. That's coming out in November.
No, fucking jibbing me compliments off, you cunt.
No. Don't get me wrong. This has performed so well, and I've been overwhelmed by the response to it, and I really appreciate that. And yeah, I am happy. Writing a book ain't easy, and I have to say, and I say it every time, but if it wasn't for Latus Illuminatus, he'd give me so much help doing things I just can't do, like formatting. I could learn it. I'm not an idiot, but I just can't be bothered. And he said, I'll do it. I said, I'll pay you. And he said, well, when you earn some money, and he sort of refuses. Yeah, so fair play, Lars. But the one that's coming out in November is about 800 pages. No one's going to buy it. But to actually finish something, it hasn't taken 10 years because I've been lazy. It's taken 10 years because it's a structural fucking nightmare to write. Don't get me started on writing. I don't stop unless I do that. But thank you, Toffee. I do take that compliment.
I've got it there. I work constantly, so I'm just fucking trying to find time to start it. I've got it there. Like, I'll start it soon. But yeah, I'm happy for you.
Sit in the toilet and have a little read every time you.
That's it.
See.
Nice big Guinness shit. I'll have to talk out, brother. I'm working. Nice to speak to you. I haven't spoken to you for ages. Right. Love your Packer, lad.
And you. See you later.
Say that.
Can't believe I got it wrong again. Bull terrier. They're not bull terrier. You know what? I when I apologised to him, I said, well, go on then. I said, I'll do a forfeit. He went, you're all right, son. I was so happy. Right, people, I am out of here. I'm just going to make sure there's no more buy me a coffees. But even if there are, you can do it while the music's playing. You'll get your video later. Packer, what do you make of the show today? Like the stream, people. And if you can, I don't know if you can hype live streams, but give it a like, can you?
It was very interesting. It's very interesting. The chat was good.
Straight, I think. Albert, is that a new one? Did you drop another 10 spot in? I'm not sure. I'm getting a bit confused. No, you didn't. But thanks anyway. Again, it is interesting. I mean, no, we done that one as well. I don't know. I am gonna default back to that book, but while I was writing it, it's set in 1986. 1986, it's not that long ago, and there's nothing in that book about immigration. Not because I don't want to go there. No, of course not. But it wasn't, when we were 14 in 1986, we didn't talk about immigration. It wasn't a problem. It wasn't in the news. And how strange is that? How long ago is that? 40 years? About 40 years. It just wasn't a consideration. As kids, we just thought, these glory days of England are just going to go on forever. And under the right governance, they could have done. We had the money, we had the skills, we had the most elite educational institutions in the world. It's been an attack. We've been attacked. You know, when people say we've been colonized, we're being invaded. Yeah, we've been attacked. And we've been blindsided. That Yuri Bezmenov fella, he outlined it. And whether you think it's a fraud or whatever, doesn't really matter if he's a fraud. He didn't really, run away from the USSR, because his argument and what he says has played out, and you can see it. So I don't care if it's fake, because if it corresponds to reality, that's all. That's enough for me. Anyway,
you've had a late super chat.
What's that, my friend?
You've had a late super chat.
I have. Alex has dropped in a late token of support. I'll take 20 knock. Nice one, Alex. Apraja Kanatu. Next person to make a suggestion. What music? Hello, Dottie. How are you, love? Got in here a bit late, but nice to see you. Next person to suggest the music for the end of stream music. We'll let Packer go. Packer, we'll have a debriefing in a minute. Show
Cheers,
Packer some love in the chat, people. Chat in a minute, Picard. Here's my empty room. There's my floating breast. Steve Craig asked for new shoes. So new shoes it will be. Let me just dig that out. Oh. Okay, bosh, bosh, bang, bang. Gemini gave me a little summary of it. Oh, also massive respect. I got a few more emails. Every time I mention it, a few more scrubs want to say something. All those scrubs that invested into index funds and ETFs, like we talked about 3 years ago, the S&P 500 is at all-time highs. I think the NASDAQ is around there. So if you did dollar cost average into the S&P 500 or a similar ETF, when I mentioned it, you'll be doing very well. And the emails I keep getting, I see you mentioned on the stream the other day, I'm 90 grand up. I can't effing believe it. That's 2 years' wages for me. Lovely, absolutely lovely. Right, look after yourselves, people. Don't forget to tell the people you love that you love them. If you're not subscribed. If you want a great read, the link's here in the description, USA or UK. The paperback's better than the Kindle, but the Kindle's there is a bit cheaper. If you can't afford it, get your local library to order it. It's on their system. They can just put it in and they'll order it for you for free. That would be nice, but here's the little kicker. Amazon works if there's a flurry of buys in a small area, it will rocket my novel right up to the top, and then there's a feedback loop. So if you want to read it, go to the Amazon page, read the endorsements and the quality of author that endorsed that book and what they've said about it. You'll be not only making my dreams come true, but you'll have if you grew up in the 80s and were a teenager, I'm convinced you'll love it. If you buy it and don't love it, email me and I'll sort you out a refund. Notice I say a refund, not a full refund, because I'll be skinned. Right, look after yourselves, people. This is a bit of music from 90s band Household. And this is dedicated to JP and Scrubs everywhere. Look after yourselves, people. I will be putting your comments on the screen as the music plays. Ta-da!
I'm stupid, I'm lazy, but in the discotheque I still look crazy. Love me, baby, I only tell lies 'cause the truth escapes. Summertime, we can get new shoes. I'll have brown and you can get the blues. I'm knackered, I'm fading, but in the right light I still look vaguely human. Happy, it won't be long before we cave in. Summertime, we can get new shoes. I'll have brown and you can get the blues. You can get the blues. Don't worry about my heroin addiction, it's only slight. I need you, love me, and I feel the same again tonight. Summertime, we can get new shoes. I'll have brown and you can get the blues. You can get the blues. You can get the blues. You can get the blues.
Keep it professional, nice and slick there. What was I going to say? Hang on, how do I get shot of that? Bosh. Oh, hello. It's been an absolute pleasure, people. I promised myself I'd do an hour. Look at that, 2:14. It's now 2:30 in the morning. Thanks to everyone who donated. Thanks to all my Substack subscribers. There's 46 free short stories over on my Substack, link in the description, link to my novel in the description. Be nice to yourself. Be nice to the people around you. Look after yourselves. I'll see if I can get a stream done Sunday. I don't even know what day it is today. What day is it today? Oh man, I've already had Saturday. That was today. Bollocks. Take care. Hoita.